Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is Life Under Trump, Part 84. Yes, Life Under Trump, Part 84. We got a lot to cover. Right now, Trump is now blaming things on the European trade for the mess that he has made. Because, you know, European is right. The Europe is helping Zelensky right now. And come to find out, America doesn't help Zelensky as much as we think. No, America is number 10 on the list for helping Zelensky. Yes, America is number 10 on the list of helping Zelensky. I hope I have that saved so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. So America not helping them, it may hurt just a tad, but it's not going to hurt much. And what has happened, all the European nations have come together, even Canada have come together to help Zelensky. So America not helping them, Ukraine, it's not hurting them, trust me, because they have made up for what America plans on taking away. Which, like I just stated, America is number 10 on the list of helping Ukraine. So Donald Trump, you up there running your mouth like we doing so much to help Ukraine. We're number 10 on the list that helps Ukraine. We're not the top people that help Ukraine. So when Donald Trump is running his mouth, he's lying. Every time he moves his lips, lies are coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello, Queen Allen Henko. Hello, Victorious Queen, Victorious One. Yeah, anytime Donald Trump is running his mouth, he's lying. A lie is coming out. I haven't watched him one time where he didn't lie. He either lying or he blaming President Joe Biden, VP Kamalaharris. Now he's blaming Europe for all of this that he has done. But the problem is he's mad because Europe has come along with the other nations in NATO to help Zelensky for the slack that America just may not be giving anymore. Donald Trump has done more harm to this country than any president ever. He has outdone Nixon. Yes, he's outdone Nixon. He's the worst. And to talk smack about Jimmy Carter, how foolish of you, Pillsbury Doughboy. How foolish of you, the Michelin tire. You could never be a Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter represented greatness. Don't you know that man was not even rich and he would help people? Jimmy Carter was known as the less fortunate president, but it's all right because he had a heart of gold and he liked helping people. Like Zelensky loves to help people. Zelensky has given all his money to his people. He doesn't have money anymore because he's helping the people while they're going through stuff. And he wears that sweater and those pants all the time because a young teen kid had that made for him. So when they're making fun of his clothes, he is not worried about clothes. He's worried about his country. He has suits, but that's not what it's about right now, Daffy Duck and JD Fancy Pants and Elon Musty. That's not what it's about. It is about saving your country. But right now, Donald Trump is not worried about saving the American country because in just a couple months or less, we will be in a recession, y'all. He is not worried about this country. We are doing the worst that we have ever done. Now he's talking about bringing more terrorists again. What is wrong with this man? And as a news broadcaster stated to him, I hope I show y'all that video, that do you not understand what terrorists really mean? I'm surprised he didn't go off on a news reporter. He asked him, do you not understand? Because he said that we've been told that terrorists is not to help America. I know I got that one saved for y'all. They are not help us, they hurt us. So if you order something right now from China, you're going to pay a tariff. Order from Canada, you're going to pay tariffs. Maybe Mexico, you're going to pay extra. What I noticed, because recently I ordered something, China, the websites, they have marked things up as well too. Because old Donny Boy running his mouth, thinking what he's doing is helping America. No, you're hurting them, the Americans. Donald Trump has caused more layoffs than any president ever. And then they're talking about doing even more layoffs in the federal government. The unemployment is high right now. The highest it has ever been. Not saying it wasn't high when he was in there before, but it is the highest the unemployment has ever been. Thank Donald Trump for that. Thank him for that. And jdvance, you have no place to talk about anyone when you wear high water pants looking like a Oompa Loompa. Don't you ever shave your face again, jdvance. You look like a fool. jdvance is not an attractive man when he shaves that ugly face. I think I like you better when you was wearing the long blonde wig. And you can tell when a man is stressing a woman. I'm going to give you an example. Look at Melania. Melania Trump used to be a very attractive woman. But over the years of being with Donnie, even all that money they got, he has brought that woman down where she looked tired, stressed, and old, even with the Botox. She looks tired and stressed and old. JD's wife, what's her name? Osha. She's looking bad right now, too. I looked at pictures of what she first looked like when they got married. Beautiful. Everybody ages, but she hasn't aged. She looks stressed with that man. A no good man that's very arrogant will have you out here looking bad. I'm going to read some of the comments and we're going to get on to it and get started. Queen Magenta says, thoughts on the new government proposal for state forced homosexuality and how do you think it will affect you? I'm not a homosexual, but it's going to affect homosexuals. I'm a heterosexual and I like heterosexual men. It's going to affect them greatly because he's making it where you can't be in the military. He's going to make it where you can't use certain restrooms. You can't play sports, which I don't have no problem with that. With the sports, I don't think men should play women's sports. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. This is my show. But a lot of things that he's saying, I do not agree with it. I totally don't. So I feel like, okay, Donnie, you got a problem with them being in the military. Send your children. But no, Donnie's never going to send his children to the military. He cried and lied like he had bone spurs when he was young and asked to go off to be drafted. Let me turn my air conditioner on. Give me a moment. Sorry about that. This Georgia weather, y'all, it's crazy. In Atlanta, you know what they say they like it hot. Atlanta's where it's hot. Okay, day before yesterday and days before, it was nice and beautiful. So yesterday it was cold. Had to go back and put a sweater on. Today it's hot again. I think it's 70 degrees if I'm not mistaken. It's hot again. This weather is bipolar in Atlanta. So forgive me, y'all. I'm hot and sweaty. But yes, JD, Donald Trump, they are against gay. But that tells me a lot. And I explained it just yesterday why I feel like it tells me a lot. Anybody has to keep harping down on the gay situation, that tells me something about you. And as I told y'all, whenever the girls that be around Donnie, that's in his campaign, the younger ones, his attorney and all them, Laura Loom and all of them, whenever they would be out and about at certain things, Donald Trump would ask them, what do you think about how that guy looks? How you think he looks? And just ask him about it. He's handsome. They say he would say he's handsome. That tells me a lot. Because they say he does it everywhere he go. Want to know what you think about what a man look like. And as I told y'all, don't forget what he was doing to that microphone with that mouth. He was dropping the mic hot. He was on that microphone like he knew exactly what to do. And it ain't got nothing to do with Melania doing it. It has to do with him doing it. So he likes to put his mouth, like I said, Donald Trump likes mud on a stick. He like ping. He likes eggplant. Queen Alon says, state enforced homosexuality. Don't pay Donnie no attention. Do what y'all want to do. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't pay them people any attention. Hey, what's up, Queen Marcella? What's good, beautiful one? Queen Marcella says, please hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button. I love you. Victoria's one said, yeah, Donnie likes that eggplant, and jdvance does too. Like I said, he should never shave his face again. Just put that blonde wig on. I can deal with that better. But when I saw photos when he got married and he didn't have his beard, You should never, ever, ever, ever in your life, jdvance, shave that beard again. He has what they call it, the ussy face. When a man shaves his beard, don't ever do that again. We would prefer to see you with that blonde wig, jdvance. Frank says Trump did that in thinking about Putin. Yeah, he was thinking about Putin. Which King, you said it right, King Frank. He wished that was Putin he was putting his mouth on. Yeah, the bottom. He's a bottom. He's a runner. He's a track star. But we're going to go ahead and get this party started. Like I said, this is Life Under Trump, part 84. Give me a moment. I'm going to open up everything for y'all. Hit that like button. Also, if you want to send me super chat or super sticker, they are welcome. And if you want to get memberships, I have two different kinds. I have rubies, that is $4.99. And I have diamonds, it is $9.99. It is worth the pay. Also, I have Venmo in my description. So if you want to send me something, like I can get it right now, because with super chat and super sticker, we have to wait till we get paid on the 21st or the 22nd, whenever they put it in there. So if you want to send me something now, my Venmo is in my description, and a PayPal link if you want to send me something now. Thank you. We had fun yesterday. So much fun yesterday. Give me a moment. Hold on, y'all, because I got my phone on the charger.
During a televised speech, and the Dow Jones is now in free fall. Let's get into it. So Trump was giving this speech today in front of the cameras, and at first it almost seemed like he was trying to lift up the stock market, which had already been a little bit down. Trump was touting investments in Arizona, and the market did actually start to come up just a little bit. But then Trump started speaking about his tariffs, and he confirmed that there will be 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico going into effect tomorrow. Once Trump started speaking about his tariffs, the markets absolutely collapsed, with the Dow Jones now down more than 700 points. It got so bad that even Fox began to run a Dow ticker on the bottom of the screen to show people how bad the stock market was doing. Watch this clip.
The United States has been taken advantage of for 40 years.
He's the only one taking advantage of us.
For years and years. That's why this gentleman is built in Taiwan instead of building here. It would have been better if he built here. If we had a president that knew what they were doing, and we had a lot of them very bad on trade.
So here's where we are at right now as of the recording of this video. The Dow is down 734.49 points, or 1.68%. This is around when Donald Trump started speaking. This right here is when he mentioned tariffs, and it's just been in a free fall ever since. And this comes after new projections by the Atlanta Fed that we reported on earlier, that GDP for the first quarter in the United States is now negative 2.8%. Buckle up, folks. It's getting ugly. We are going to be covering it all. Make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast for all the updates. Donald Trump just
subscribe to Midas Touch Network on YouTube. You can follow them on Instagram as well. Midas Touch Network. Like I told y'all, anything Donny Boy touches, it crumbles. Donald Trump is a destroyer. He is destroying this country, and every day it is getting worse and worse and worse. It's not getting better for us. It's getting worse. He is going to be the downfall of this country. And I'm not being mean, but I've been said this to y'all. The white man is the one that's going to bring this country down. He will destroy this country because of greed. And I didn't lie. Don't you ever call me a lie, because I didn't lie. You see it happening right before your eyes. Don't be surprised.
Is your message to Donald Trump, Charlie Angus?
Well, Donald, what, you had to bring a guy from the Russian state media in to watch you try and beat up President Zelensky, and you thought that would make you look good? It made you look like the crook and the cheap hood that you are. It's sickened us in our stomachs, but I've been talking to people all over the world who are sickened in their stomachs by what you tried to pull off. Zelensky is a man that you will never be in a million years. He's a genuine hero. So, Donald, where are you going to go with this? Are you going to continue to be the puppet and the bootlicker of Vladimir Putin, another criminal, a guy whose economy isn't 1/5 or 1/10 of what the United States is? Is that what you're going to give up? Because the rest of the world understands now very clearly who you are. And we understand who heroes are, and you're not one of them.
What is your message?
Donnie is a monster. He is the one that's bringing the economy down. As you can see, I showed you the stock market is down. His stock is down. Tesla stock, oh, it is pitiful right now. It is no longer a trillionaire company. Every day, Tesla is dropping. Every day, they're out there protesting in front of the Tesla stores. Elon, we're loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it.
Right now.
Hold on. This is something I want y'all to see. And don't be sitting in my chat getting offended. Listen and learn. Please. I love you.
If I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400.
So when y'all judge African Americans, black people, go back and watch this again. Make sense when you talk. I love you.
Warning signs just in regarding the United States economy. The data now showing a massive crash in the country's GDP for the first quarter of 2025. Let's break it down. So this is just in from the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank. Their GDP Now model now estimates that U.S. real GDP growth for Q1 is negative 2.8%. That is down even further from last week's forecast of negative 1.5%. Just a month ago, that estimate was about plus 4%. So we are seeing a more than 6% swing negative. And you can see the graph right here, this incredible drop-off under Donald Trump. And I just want to emphasize this was not the trajectory that we were on under President Biden. In 2024, real GDP growth under Biden grew at 2.8%, and the United States was the world leader in GDP growth amongst developed nations. And if President Biden's policies were left alone, economists predicted that the GDP growth in 2025 would be 2% or 3%. But now with Donald Trump's tariffs and his mass layoffs of federal workers, it's looking like we could very well be headed into a deep recession. We're going to be following this and so much more, so make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple and on Spotify. New warning signs.
Fair use, educational, and great for research. Check those guys out at Midas Touch Network. Y'all, I told y'all we are facing a recession. MAGA, who you going to blame now, baby? You cannot blame President Joe Biden nor VP Kamala Harris. Everybody that voted for Donald Trump, this is your mess. I don't care if you black and somebody you say you know me. Yeah, I'm saying this to you. You are to blame for this mess. You are to blame for the economy being effed up. You are to blame for us going to go into a recession. President Bush Jr. the second caused a recession. And who had to come clean up the mess? The black man. President Barack Obama had to clean up Bush mess. Oh, I like George Bush. He funny. I can dap him and everything. But I'm not going to lie. He made such a mess that our great man, President Barack Obama, and his wife, Michelle Obama, had to come in that White House and clean up that mess. When Donald Trump is impeached, who's going to clean the mess up? They not just only laid off those federal workers that he was talking about in this video. They plan on laying off more this week. Like I told you early on in this video, the unemployment is the highest it has ever been. When C-19 happened, under Donald Trump's watch, he kept it hidden from us for quite some time. That's why we had so many unalives, because of Donald J. Trump. Yes, the unemployment was terrible. But just imagine under him now, and he's not going out at this moment, because at that moment he was going out, and it was election year. Who y'all gonna blame, MAGA? You have no one to blame but yourselves, because you voted for the monster. You voted for the Pillsbury Doughboy. You voted for the Michelin tie. You voted for the clown, and you got a circus. Go join him. Let me read some of y'all comments. Michael H., you need to worry about your grandmother's Medicare and Medicaid, because, honey, she's going to be pushed up out that nursing home. Suck that. Mr. Good Citizen, nobody believes any of that. You don't have to, because if you're part of Donald Trump's crew, that cult, you don't believe nobody but Donald Trump. Keep drinking that Kool-Aid until you unalive, okay? Great 59 said, this is pure comedy. Your mama is comedy. Your mama. With all those wrinkles and them saggy titties with wrinkles, I would hate to see her stomach. And Lord, that cellulite, push her away. Just push her down the hill somewhere, you fucking hillbilly. Victorious one says, at Mr. Good Citizen, America stole the labor of black people and bloodshed. Never forget. We may never forget. Sit down, be humble, and enjoy my show. A choke on Donald Trump's balls. Ari, I'm not going to entertain you. I'm going to let you breathe today. I'm going to save you. I'm going to push you in the corner and tape your mouth. How about that? Trump is a clown. Thank you, Zilvinas M. He is definitely a clown. And he looked stupid. He looked so stupid. Every day is something with this clown in the White House. The ugly MFer in the White House. Every day. This country is falling daily in a sinkhole. You better get on Noah's Ark before it's too late. Because you keep riding on the Trump train, you going to sink too. Drown, baby, drown. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't save you. You sink. Bye. I wouldn't reach a hand out of a stick. I would let you sink. Because that's what you want. I love this woman. Hold on.
Democrats are no on this budget. It is outrageous that you all have the audacity to come here with this budget that harms so many Americans and ask us to support billionaires and think we're going to buy it? You think we're going to support it? Well, you got another thought coming. We ain't doing it. We're no.
Democrats ain't doing it. Why should they save you? Why should I save you? Don't say, if something happened with them, y'all, let them feel the pain. Like Elon said, y'all gonna have to feel some pain. But us other people, we're gonna help each other. If I see my sister need something, I'm gonna help her. If I got something to share, I'm gonna share it. But if I find out you voted for Trump, get thee away, Satan. You won't get any help from me. You need to feel the pain that you agree with Elon and Trump about. Because Elon said out his mouth, America's going to have to feel some pain. Well, let me tell you something. MAGA And anybody, I don't care if you're my race, if you voted for Donald Trump, the Latinos, the blacks, all, you're going to feel the pain. And we're not reaching out to help you. We will not save you. We're going to allow you to crash and sink. And a lot of you is getting this free help out here. You're getting food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, with all of that out there. You getting it. You in here fronting in my chat. Sit your ass down and enjoy the show and learn something. Because your master is leading you to the water to drown you. You better get on Noah's boat. But you don't listen. You don't listen. Uneducated that he loves.
The whole history of America is the history of rich white. It starts in the colonies.
They report my channel, but I'm not scared.
Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other, right? I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white.
Hit the like button, please.
In the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count. That's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do the math. They added it up and they were like, damn, we got to figure out a way to split these folks apart from one another or they're going to rise up and take our stuff, right? Because after a while, these black folks who were enslaved Africans and these quote-unquote white folks who were poor Europeans are going to figure out they're all getting played by these rich people, right? So ultimately, the rich figure they got to come up with some way to get somebody in that group on their team. The easiest thing is to get the poor Europeans, right? Because at least they look like you. They sort of share some of the customs and the culture. So they all of a sudden create this thing called whiteness, and they say, now you're part of the club. Now we're going to let you testify in court, enter into contracts, vote, at least if you're a man, own a little bit of land, at least if you're a man, right? And we're going to get rid of indentured servitude. No more of that, because you're too good for that. And we're going to take the white men, now called white men, and put them on the slave patrol to keep black people in line. Give them a horse and a gun and a badge and make them feel big and powerful, right? They're still poor. They still don't have anything. They didn't pay the slave patrol well. Right? Just exploited them, used them as a buffer between the elite and the other poor folks, particularly poor folks of color. And pretty soon the rebellions that occasionally happened where black and white got together to overthrow the elite, those stopped because the divide and conquer had begun to work, right? You could turn people against each other by telling those poor white folks, they got to keep these black people in line. And so that divide and conquer gets initiated in the colonies. Rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. Again, the whole history of America is the history of rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown.
I am showing you this video because that's what's happening today. But trying to tell MAGA something is like talking to a wall. It's a waste, but I won't stop. No. What he's saying is what's happening today. History is repeating itself. Although Donald Trump is trying to erase history, him and jdvance, you're bad at doing it because it ain't working. You're pitiful. Your strategy is not working, baby. You may be weakening the American system and trying to weaken the American people. But trying to turn the clock back to 1960, baby, it ain't happening. Because now people are marching them streets like it ain't no other time to have been marching. They are marching against you and Donald J. Trump, JD. And Elon Musk. Elon, there's a petition to get you out of this country. There's a petition from Canada as well to take away your citizenship. And South Africa don't want you, honey. They don't want you there anymore. Where you going to go to once we kick you out of our country? What a waste of breath and God's air being put into you. We're going to have a moment of greatness. I'm going to show y'all a moment of greatness because I like to celebrate other people, kind of heal the monotony a little bit, you know, just make a little happiness come into the air so MAGA can calm down.
I have 16 Grammys. Are you serious?
Yes. A black woman has the most Grammys than anybody. Anybody.
What can you threaten black people with that we
hit that like button
lived through before? We already couldn't go to your schools. We already couldn't live in your neighborhood. We already couldn't shop in your store. We already had to sit in the back of the bus. We already filled out your jail. We already had our zip codes redlined. We already had our votes suppressed. We already had our families separated. We already had our men profiled. We already had our women objectified. What you think you gonna do new that's gonna be able to intimidate us? Black people got soundtrack music. Yea, though we walk
through the valley of death,
of the shadow of
death,
we will fear no evil. It is their master plan to make you live in fear so you don't fight back, so you don't lift up your voice, so you don't kick against the prick. Fear is the only weapon that white supremacy has. What can you threaten black people with?
nada. Let me tell you something. People be telling me, you're not scared on there talking about Donald Trump. What the hell I'm be scared of Donald Trump for? That old pissy old man, what I'm be scared of him for? And I'm definitely ain't scared of jdvance. I'll whoop his ass on my own. Let him step to me. Why would I be scared? See, this is the thing. Women are smaller. So, yeah, don't step to a man. But you have to think of tactics. If somebody come to you and you small, I'm a small, petite woman, you got to use your brain. Folding chairs, book, bottle, whatever. Nobody's scared of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, or JD Fancy Pants. A lot of black people like, why do you get on there and talk about it? You're not scared of what Donald Trump would do? No, I'm not scared of any of them. I'm not scared of anything. At my age, you shouldn't be scared of a damn thing. Nothing. I don't care if you're young. Don't be afraid of anything. Speak up for what's right. Don't be scared. Come on. Come on, people. We're never going to get out the situation that MAGA and a couple of hands full of blacks put us in and the Latinos put us in. We're not going to stay in this situation. You got to open your mouth and speak up and fight for your rights, because a vast majority of rights have been taken in such short time. Less than 58 days that Hitler did it. How dumb can MAGA be? A cult that don't have a brain. Nobody in that cult has a brain. The man told you he ran to be for the Republican Party because y'all are the least educated. And he said he loves the uneducated. That's embarrassing. That is not a compliment. That's telling you, MAGA, you're dumb as a bag of rocks. He could S-H-I-T-O you. You're going to eat it. You love to get in his pamper and smell his piss. You're going around buying Pampers, putting them on. Such fools. Such dumb followers. A cult that doesn't have a brain. Drink that Kool-Aid like Jim Jones had those people to do. Just go on away. We don't care. We're tired of you. You're sick. And everything this man is about to say, I second it and I stand on it. I'm not afraid to say it.
He believes it's theft. Just taking land from someone is theft. No more, no less. So he believes you can't, no matter how bad the injustices were in the past, you can't fix it by grabbing.
And that is madness. How does taking my car, which you stole from you, become a theft? You steal my car, I come and take it. I find it, I take it. In terror's mind, that is theft. I mean, that is insane. We're not stealing anything. We're taking what is rightfully ours. But I'm not taking my car and leaving you stranded. I give you a ride. This is my car, I'm taking it.
Without compensation. How are you getting a ride?
No, I'm giving you a ride. We're driving together. I won't leave you here stranded. Yes. Why should I compensate a
We are
criminal?
leaving MAGA
Still
stranded.
You want money from me to buy it for. You're committing more crime by wanting me to buy from you.
He believes it's theft. Just taking land from someone is theft.
I'm going to tell you what I hate about y'all coming to black people, even that's South Africa. Apartheid. Y'all just went and took land from Africans. Wasn't no white people there, like it wasn't no white people in the Bible. Y'all just go there and you take something. Oh, it's mine. You come to America, it's mine. All mine, it's mine. No, it's not yours. You stole it. We're living on stolen land, y'all. Europeans were not here, ever here. You came over here and stole a whole land. Mexicans was already here. Some blacks was already here. Yes, God. Because a lot of the Indians were blacks. You don't know your history because your savior is erasing it. And you never knew your history because the white man said, don't teach that in school. No. We can't let them know how powerful they really are. But we know because in Africa, there were kings and queens. In European, y'all were the poor people that came over here. The poor Europeans that came over here. And to make yourself something, you can't be a big fish in a big pond. So you became a little fish in a big, you became a big fish in a little pond. In a big pond, you was a little fish over there in Europe. Your Americans are here, your ancestors. Y'all were poor white trash. Like Karen Huger said, yeah. And you came here to be something, to rule people that you had no business taking their land. And then you go to Africa over there, apartheid, and take something then. And then when the black people want their property back, the Africans want it back and they take it back, they steal it. Bitch, that ain't stealing. Y'all are crazy. You're being crazy. God's trying to heal your brain, but you won't accept it. This is a read that Zelensky gives, and I love it, what he says. Yeah, this guy, he's going to read this person down, Lindsey Graham.
Can I just ask, you alluded to citizens of other nations. I mean, since the incident, Senator Lindsey Graham said that perhaps you should consider resigning. Speaker Mike Johnson today said that maybe you should consider resigning. Is your attitude it's not their business?
Listen carefully, for you missed the understanding.
Lindsey Graham is... Lindsey Graham is a very good guy, a very nice. And speaking who must be the president and whether I shall resign, I can give him the citizenship of Ukraine. He will become the citizen of our country, and then his voice will start to gain weight, and I will hear him as a citizen of Ukraine on the topic of who must be the president. But Lindsey represents the party that fights for democratic values, and anyway, the president of Ukraine will have to be chosen not at home, at Lindsey Graham's home, but in Ukraine.
Can I just ask you...
Lindsey Graham, I'm going to sum it up for you because you know you're a little special. You kissed the ring so much you lost your mind. What he's saying is you have no voice in America. Come to Ukraine and you will have a voice. It's that simple. That's exactly what he's saying. Do I need to play it for y'all again, for y'all to get it? He pretty much read the poor little girl, Lindsay, that wears a red thong around, allegedly. He's telling you have no voice. He's telling you kiss the ring so many times you don't exist in America. Come over to Ukraine, you'll have a voice. But until then, don't tell him how to be president. I just broke it down, DOS for dummies. Swankum 28 said, cause he is the king and the daddy in Ukraine. Yes. Victorious one says at Jay Breeze, targets not victims, colonizers still. That's what apartheid was about. And Elon Musk is a part of it as well. His family, thieves, and he's over here stealing from America. LaSwan, thank you for the hearts, my love. Thank you, King. Lady Sparkle Smooth says shadow facts. Lucas D, I have good Ukraine analogy. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all something. And some people only understand the story if you explain it as a picture. So you'll understand why Europe stepped in the way that they have. So America is not hurting them because America is like number 10 on the list of helping Ukraine. Donald Trump be fronting in line. We were not helping them like he made it out to be. They were number 10 on the list. And it was 10 different countries helping Ukraine. And not Atlanta, I'm sorry. America was number 10 at the bottom of the list, y'all. Fronting. So look at this. Look what Europe. Why? And I'm going to explain a little bit more if you don't get it. Look at this photo. You see, Russia is the water. Ukraine is the dam, and it's cracking right now because they're in war. And Europe is where the dam is protecting. So why will Europe help them? Because if he doesn't, Europe, well, they've been helping. They're on the list already. They're helping even more. And all the other countries have come in. Even J.P. Morgan has given money to Ukraine. A lot of the big money people, what is that? Oh, God. What's that man, that whole family, they're the ones that run the world. They are helping Ukraine too. So Donald Trump is not hurting Ukraine, baby. When God says go and when God start moving things, when you're on that chessboard, don't think you're going to run something down here, boy, because God is stronger than you. Man could never defeat God, although he give us all a special power. But yours has been deleted because you're an evil MF, Donald Trump. Yours has been deleted, so all you doing is working through Satan. Satan is in you and working through you. Elon, jdvance, and Donald Trump, they working for the devil. Putin is part of the devil's plan. So you see Russia, you see Ukraine, you see Europe. If they don't help Ukraine, the hells in the water come over to them. They ain't trying to have it. So you got to keep that dam there. Your protector, okay? The Rothschilds, I think, is it them? Well, anyway, it's somebody that's one of the people that's really running the world. They're helping Ukraine right now. It's so many world leaders have come in to assure Ukraine you're going to be all right. We're not going to allow Russia to do anything to you. We're going to pour our money and our influence into you. President Zelensky, the hero. Donald Trump is not a hero. He's a loser. Anybody lied to stay out the military has been alleged that it was lied that he has foot spores or bone spurs or whatever you want to call it. Ain't no wrong with Donald Trump, but he got mold spores. That's what he got. He's old. He's corroded. He's mold. He got mold spores in those Pampers he be wearing because he wear them too long. You know how a baby get diaper rash? You don't change that diaper? That's Donald Trump. But he has mold in his pants. He's so ugly. Oh, my God. Don't get me started today. Don't get me started. This is powerful. I'm going to show y'all this. Take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river. I can't play the whole thing, but I wanted to show y'all that. That was so powerful because that's the Statue of Liberty in chains. That's how we feel right now. Till we get rid of Donald Trump, jdvance, and elonmusk. And then she has Donald Trump on the front with the flag doing the Hitler salute. That is such a powerful message. Then you see people got their flags up. They got those flags saying F Trump. F Donald Trump. I like that song. F Donald Trump. They got a song. Lock Up the President. What's that song Ice Cube got? Go listen to that too. It's powerful. So this is a powerful message I want people to listen to, how racism works everywhere, and who was some of the original people that was already here. The ones y'all don't try to kick out of here and send them to Guantanamo Bay, which is right close to Mexico, and some Mexican people already there anyway. They really the same. But I want y'all to hear this message. So anybody that's on here that's Latino, what are some of them? Mexican, they all Mexicans, they all Latinos to me. They are. But I want y'all to hear this message because racism is everywhere. The darker you are, the worse they treat you. And that is true. So it's just not America, but America has been the worst with it than any other country. And they always say America the Great. Make America great again. It's never been great for black people, Donnie. Shut your damn mouth.
So a lot of people don't know is that Mexico is bordered with Guatemala. Yes. Okay? We don't let them in. So the same thing that America does to Mexico, we do to Guatemala. Okay? It just, the news is the CNN, Fox, CNN.
Hit the like button, please.
New York Post, they're never going to show you that. Just so you know, Mexico is extremely racist. So we have what are like Guatemalans, even to its own Mexicans. So you got to remember, Mexico was dominated by the Spaniards. The only reason I look the way I look is because I'm 65% Spaniard. Yeah. Mexicans, like real Mexicans, or which is known as Mexica, not Mexico, Mexica, are 5'4", super dark with big noses and the heads pushed back. Aztecs and Mayans, like Indians. Like Indians. Yes. Well, we're natives, right? So we're blended. So the reality is in Mexico, till this day, if you are not light complected, somewhat tall, you're frowned upon. To this day. So a lot of people don't know is that Mexico is...
He's right. And as he stated, they are natives. They are. But Donald Trump insists on saying they're immigrants, they're migrants. But racism is everywhere. But we don't have to accept it because I want to accept it. I don't let others tell me what I can and cannot do. I do what God tell me Lillie can do.
Walmart, we're thinking big about diversity and inclusion.
Here at Target,
this is a flashback.
Long-standing commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
This is a flashback video.
500,000 employees around the world, and from our earliest days,
how they lie.
We've been committed to equality in our workplace.
We want to see more people from underrepresented groups because it makes us a better company. This is a priority because it makes sense to be a priority.
Some people said, Howard, this is not a subject we should touch. This is not for you. This is not for a company. This is for someone else. I reject that.
McDonald's now says it's ending some of its diversity.
Target announcing it is rolling back diversity.
Amazon and Meta are dialing back their diversity, equity,
is cutting back some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
At Walmart, we're thinking...
Now you see all of them, they used to have DEI. But because once Dunny Boy got in there, all those companies that you love to shop, Amazon, Walmart, Target, etc., they have rolled it back. Now their stock is going down. They trying to manipulate black people. For example, they faked the phone and start putting out Black History stuff. And what did we do as black people? We ignored them because you're not going to play in our face, which DEI has nothing to do with the black race. It is about equality for all. And who benefit the most from equality, DEI? White women. Affirmative action? White women. So when y'all talking smack about black women with their education that's more than yours, highly, lot more educated than you, do your homework. Stop lying. Stop getting in my chat line. Stop getting on anybody's YouTube lying. Stay off that news, you news reporters lying.
Is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money.
AOC seems to think that Musk speaks outside of his scientific expertise. I am a scientist. Let's listen to Musk's thoughts on vaccines for children on Joe Rogan.
I'm overall pro-vaccine, meaning like we think we should have
he doesn't
some
make sense.
number of
Listen to him. He tripped his own self up.
Against major ailments.
But I don't think I'm pro-vaccine. But I don't think we should be like jamming some little kid with like a giant vial that's like
hepatitis B.
Yeah, 20 different things at a time. It's
crazy.
like it's going to overload your. It seems like there's a risk of overloading your immune system if you. I mean, there's like how many vaccines can you take at a time? It seems like your system's. There's like some risk of system overload here. From birth, you are constantly exposed to microbes. With every bite of food, we're talking up to hundreds of thousands to millions of microbes, which is fine and normal. And not many people know this, but your intestinal lining has special immune cells that constantly take samples of those microbes and then secrete antibodies into your gut to regulate your gut microbiome. It's basically like they're being vaccinated against thousands of different organisms every single day. One paper estimated that based on the number of immune cells in just 1 milliliter of blood, a baby could develop robust responses to at least 10,000 simultaneous vaccines. And that was from just 1 ml of blood. It's like worrying that spritzing your child with water will get them wet, but your child is currently snorkeling 3 feet under the ocean. So it turns out Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money.
AOC seems to think that Musk speaks outside of his scientific expertise.
Again, he's not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He knows nothing about politics, but he's in that White House telling Dunny Boy what to do, and Dunny Boy's doing it. He posted on his Twitter X what the employees in the federal building need to do, and he knows nothing about their job. Like they laid off all those people. Now they don't have the contacts for them to come back to work there. They deleted so many files they can't even contact the people. Did you vote for Elon? Or did you vote for Donnie in JD Fancy Pants? Which one, Mega? Because you have 3 stooges right now. And when it's Elon and Donnie together, it's Beavis and Butthead. Dumb and Dumber. One was born into money and the other one pushed out people, did whatever he got to do to get to where he is, and took the American taxpayer billions of dollars, and he's a billionaire off taxpayers in America money.
This subcommittee is supposedly about looking into waste, fraud, and abuse. So I'd like to start talking about independent inspector generals who are supposed to be looking into waste, fraud, and abuse. Mr. Talcove, do you know how many inspector generals at agencies that were investigating Elon Musk's companies have been fired by the Trump Musk administration? No. It is 5. Ms. Royal, the Inspector General of the Department of Labor had 17 open investigations into Tesla and SpaceX. Do you know what the Trump Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
No.
They fired him, and I think y'all know. Mr. Whitson, the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation was investigating Tesla. Do you know what the Trump Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
No.
They were fired. The Department of Defense's Inspector General was looking into SpaceX. Mr. Hedler, do you know what the Trump Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was fired.
Thank you. I think everybody on the panel knows what the answer to these questions were. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Inspector General was investigating Musk's Neuralink. Mr. Talcove, now I'll ask you again under oath, do you know what Mr. Trump did to that Inspector General that was looking into one of Musk's companies? No. He was fired. The Inspector General at the EPA was repeatedly taking on Tesla. Mr. Hedler, since it seems that you're answering the questions, this subcommittee is supposedly...
Every department, the federal department that was investigating Elon Musk, he made sure he got in good with old Donny Boy and bought the presidency and fired the people that was investigating all of his companies. And he made sure that he got government funding from the taxpayers in billions of dollars, millions just recently, but he has made billions of dollars just in the little time that Donny Boy has been in office off of the American taxpayers. Did you vote for Elon or Donny? Which one, MAGA? Because you've been drinking the Kool-Aid so long and you don't got high off that piss, it depends. I don't think you realize which one. You just went in there high off a piss and voted. This is a town hall meeting.
Republican Senator Roger Marshall left his town hall at a county
Hit that like
hospital
button,
in Kansas
please. Thank
early.
you.
Colin McRoberts, who captured this moment, traveled about 5 hours with his mother to attend.
We had heard about the town hall on Reddit from someone who said they'd called into his office and found out about it, but I could not find any information about it online. We kind of got the impression that the senator did not want people to come to the town hall, which made me think it might be a particularly interesting thing to go to.
McRoberts said when he arrived, they had to move to a larger space.
I would say there was room for maybe 30 people max. They'd had some folding chairs set out for about that many. And within, I would say 20 minutes before the scheduled start time, it was overflowing. And one of Marshall's staffers came in and looked both surprised and I would say a little bit alarmed at the number of people and some of the signs that were critical of him. And they pretty quickly moved us to sort of an atrium space.
McRoberts said many who spoke were concerned about Ukraine, healthcare, and the state of democracy.
You know, this is one of the rudest audiences I've ever had.
And lots were concerned about veteran benefits.
I support the veterans.
I saw it coming. Hold on. You're not Jefe. You will never be a boss. You said get a job because we coming after parental rights next. Listen here, I'm not a welfare queen. You better take that up, Elon. I don't get food stamps. I don't get a welfare check. I don't get no kind of assistance from the government. So next, how you want to run that, Jefe? You probably a Latino that's your grandmother's getting Medicaid. Well, they're going to push out in the wheelchair on the street at the nursing home. Get your mouth off of Donald Trump's little eggplant and never come back in my chat, bitch. How about that? Celtic One said, can you show the proof that you're just talking without showing anything except for random sound bites? Sound bite this. Leave my chat. Block that bitch. Celtic, block that person. I ain't got time to entertain you. This is proof of a town hall meeting with their local senator. What more proof do you need, you dumb bitch? Remove Bob HS as well. Because he's putting Diddy stuff in there. I'm not down with that Diddy stuff. Get rid of him too. I don't need you in my chat. Your view don't matter to me. God brings me people. Alberto Martin, thank you, Queen. Let me tell you something. I'd rather be nice and kind because that's the closest way to get to heaven. But God knows his child better than anybody. I will break you down before you come in my chat ever again with your BS. I will beat you the way your mama never beat you when you was out there bullying kids. I beat up bullies. How about that? My words are so sharp it'll break you down. Don't you ever come back in my chat. Thank you, King LaSwan. King LaSwan says, lock Trump, Elon up. They need to. Because the American people are hurting right now because of Elon and Donald Trump and jdvance, the three stooges. I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. I don't mean to be rude. I just can't pronounce your name. Oh, okay. Del Matador, thank you so much, King. Mr. Stretch 10, King says yes. I don't know what you're saying yes for, but okay. Queen Kathy Randall says, you know what I believe? That no one, wait a minute, hold on. I got to make sure it don't move. Kathy Randall says, you know what I believe? That not one Democrats to go to the State of Union are independent. If you want to be a president, you're going to have to act like a president. And he is no president of mine. He ain't my president either. I would never call him president, ever. I agree with you. King Sean says, can any Trump supporter tell me how Nazi salute is okay or lying about Ukraine being the aggressor? Yeah, Donald Trump called the Ukrainian president Zelensky a dictator. Donald Trump, you want to be a dictator. You want to be Putin, a dictator. But you can never be. We're not going to follow for the banana tailpipe. It's more of us than MAGA. MAGA just short of brain cells. Every time you talk to them, they losing brain cells every day, every minute, every second that you talk to them. They could never grasp educational things that will help them grow as an individual because they're too much in their hillbilly mindset. Victoria's one says 47, not president. He didn't win. He even admitted that he didn't win. He said out his own mouth that it was rigged. Yeah, he's just an occupant of the Oval Office, Queen Victoria's. Hey, Queen Till. Queen Till said at Paul, F you. That's right, F you. In high school, she won second place at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. Thank you. Tell them, educate these dummies, because Donald Trump is just pouring them that Kool-Aid and their brain cells are just dying. What they only got about 1 or 2 brain cells left. They come here every day think they're going to destroy my brain cells. It ain't happening because I read. Queen Tia says, at Paul, a show of appreciation for her efforts. The MIT Lincoln Laboratory named the small asteroid after her. Oh yeah. Alexandria. Girl, they don't know better. You could tell them, you could get them a list of everything she has done. They gonna say it didn't happen. And show them the facts. They'll still say it's not true. But Donald Trump can stand there not showing facts and lie, and they buy it every time. They are special needs in a different kind of way. And I'm not making fun of people that have special needs. It's a different kind of special needs. Anybody that like the Jim Jones effect and drinking the Kool-Aid, they special, honey. Trust me. You can get them a list, show them proof. She can say it out of her mouth, and they say she's lying. You know those people had slow classes. They're on the short bus. You can't help them. There's no help for people like them. I'm going to show y'all something. I found this so humorous and funny. People are taking their Teslas because they can't get rid of them because they have no value. When you buy a Tesla, I try to tell somebody that I love, when you buy a Tesla, it loses value quick. So they're having a hard time trying to sell their Teslas because they're not worth anything. So this is what they're doing to their Teslas. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to start at the very beginning because I had been watching it. So, hold on. Where it go? Oh, crap. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I got to go back to it. I was watching it earlier, so it was on the last end of the thing. Hold on. Here we go. They're taking their Teslas and making them to other cars because they're so embarrassed. So this person made his Tesla a Mazda. You see that? It's a Tesla. Look at the body of the car. It's a Tesla. He made it into a Mazda. They too embarrassed. They can't get rid of them. They don't want them. Made into a Mazda. It's a Tesla. Hold on. This person took his Tesla and made it a Honda Accord. A Honda Civic, I'm sorry. A Honda Civic. It's a Tesla. This person made their Tesla into a Mazda as well. That is a Tesla car. They too embarrassed to ride around in a Tesla. The stock has dropped tremendously for Tesla. It's an embarrassment. No one wants to have a Tesla right now, but they can't get rid of them. What are they going to do? So this person made his Tesla a Honda Civic as well. That is a Tesla. Look at the body. This one is the most funniest. This is the Tesla truck. Somebody made it into a Toyota. Hondas and Toyotas are great cars, and the Tesla is a raggedy car. They are embarrassed to have a Tesla. Everybody's trying to get rid of them. So this person made their Tesla into an Audi. Which I can tell that's not an Audi because my daughter used to have a white one just like that, that body style. I'm going to read to y'all what it says. Tesla is no longer a $1 trillion company as sales has plummeted. I keep telling y'all, and what MAGA gonna do? Show me proof. Start doing your research, MAGA. Start reading. So, as I've been telling y'all, his stock has dropped tremendously. And he knew it. So what does he do? He tie in with the old Dunny boy. Pay for the presidency. Then he make it where he takes money from the American people that need it the most and make sure he fund his projects, his businesses, millions and billions of our tax dollars, because he knew that it was going to happen. Everything he touched is effed up like Dunny boy. Hold on. Uh-oh.
Is increasingly upset about the fact that Republican congressmen around the country are being berated by constituents for his policies. In a new statement posted to his Truth Social, literally just now, Trump writes, quote, paid troublemakers are attending Republican town hall meetings. It is all part
That's
of the
a
game
lie.
for the Democrats. But just like our big landslide election, it's not going to work for them. Now, Trump is pushing this idea that these American constituents are being paid to go and berate members of Congress for Doge, Elon, and Trump's policies. And we've seen constituents at town halls across the country work to hold Republican politicians accountable, whether in Kansas or in Georgia or in Wisconsin. Literally around the country, it's consistent. Republican politicians are literally canceling meet and greets with constituents because they are afraid to answer for Trump's policies. Polling is crashing for the Trump administration right now among independents and other key voting blocs, and it's clear it's getting to him. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack shortly, linked to my bio. Subscribe for free and follow and stay updated on all the news you need to know about. We have some news right now. Donald Trump
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network on YouTube and follow them on Instagram. He's a clown. This guy's a clown.
I want you to see this video that proves MAGA is lying when they say the United States doesn't owe Ukraine anything. Definitely don't repost it, and definitely don't watch it till the very end.
When the Soviet Union fell in the early 1990s, Ukraine was left with the world's third largest stockpile of tactical nuclear weapons and strategic nuclear weapons on the planet. But they signed this agreement with the United States and Russia that said, if you give up your nuclear weapons, we, these countries that signed to this, will provide for your defense. And so Ukraine did that. They gave up these weapons. Well, now, 20 years later, one of the countries that signed that agreement hasn't just not provided for their defense, they actually invaded them. And I want to make a point on this for a second. Think about if you're one of these other countries around the world right now that feels threatened by your neighbors, and the United States and the rest of the world are going to you and saying, listen, don't develop nuclear weapons. We will protect you. What kind of lesson do you think this instance sends to them? I think the message this is sending to many nations around the world is perhaps we can no longer count on the security promises made by the free world.
Marco Rubio really doesn't want you to see.
And now, just what? Day 4 yesterday, because I forgot I didn't go live yesterday. I went live day 4 yesterday. Just what? Friday? He's now kissing the ring when he knows better. He knows better. He knows that Donald Trump is lying on Zelensky. He's not a dictator. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. He cosplayed being a dictator. When Putin is a dictator, and he's lying, saying that Ukraine started the war with Russia. No, Russia started with Ukraine because they want their supplies. They want they want the minerals. That's what they want. Anything that's a value that's in Ukraine, they want it. They already gave away their weapons. What else do you want? All you want to do is take and take like they did the Native Americans in America. All you know to do is take. Your ancestors didn't teach you anything but to take and to thieve. Thieves.
Just announced a $5 million golden card. It's his
worth
way of
nothing.
attracting wealthy foreigners into America.
And it's
Sounds
worth
great,
nothing
right?
for
Well,
$5 million.
As an American living abroad with Dubai's golden visa, let me tell you why no one I know, not a single wealthy person, is buying into this. See, I live in Dubai where I pay
Trump is a
zero
con.
personal income tax and just 9% of
Hit
my
the
business.
like button,
But
please.
because I'm an American citizen, because I'm still an American citizen, I have to file U.S. taxes every single year even though I haven't lived there in many, many years. You see, America is one of the only countries that taxes its citizens no matter where they live. And if you get Trump's golden card, you're going to be locked into the exact same system, even if you never set foot back into America again. And if you decide to renounce that citizenship, you have to pay an exit tax on your worldwide assets. When I talk to my wealthy international friends, and there's a lot of them in here in Dubai, they laugh about this. Now, they love visiting the U.S., maybe New York, Miami, L.A., but living there, becoming a citizen, no chance. They already got better options. You can come to Dubai and get a golden visa where you pay no income tax, low business tax, and no headaches. Even Malta. Malta has a citizenship program for your entire family for about $1 million. You can get full European access. Portugal has a golden visa program where you barely need to live there and you still get residency. Trump says this will bring in millions of rich immigrants. But last year, only 8,000 people applied for the US EB-5 investor visa, which costs way less than the golden card. Why? Because no one wants to sign up for the US tax system. I know Americans that don't even like the US tax system. So if America really wants to attract wealthy people, they need to fix their tax policies first. Right now, this golden card is just a $5 million ticket into worldwide taxation, and no one wants that. Would you pay $5 million for this? Let me know in the comments. Trump just announced
it's a scam. The con men just keep conning. He's pimping out the White House in every form and pocketing the money. That $5 million wouldn't be going to us, y'all. It'll go in his pockets. He'll make it where he can launder it in some kind of way that it doesn't show that it's coming to him. In my opinion.
In a shocking new video, Democratic Congressman Richie Torres sat down with a former USAID employee who is blowing a whistle, saying that the Trump administration has terminated the ability to stop viruses and diseases from other countries from becoming pandemics in the United States. You gotta see this.
Just like C-19.
Because when a pandemic comes,
the devil is busy in the White House.
Trump and Elon Musk chose to shut down
hit the like
USAID
button, please.
At the same time, a Marburg outbreak was declared in Africa.
Right. There's also dengue, which is on its way to the United States, an active Ebola outbreak in Uganda, Mpox, polio, and bird flu, which is probably the next.
They already got measles in Texas and a couple other places.
A foreign country does not stay in a foreign country.
That's right.
Let me know if you agree the Trump administration and DOJ canceling these programs in USAID is making us unsafe. Wow, in a shocking new video.
Very unsafe. But does Donald Trump care? He doesn't care. Look what he did to you with COVID. He knew about it, but would not tell anybody. For example, when I told y'all about what was going on with the chicken and the eggs, he wasn't going to talk about it after February 15th. I told y'all that, and that's what happened. I warned you beforehand, before February 15th, because I know somebody worked for the CDC. So that's how I found out, and I told y'all. And what does he do? He lay off federal people from the CDC. These are the diseases that are coming here and that probably already are here, but he's not telling the American people. Do he want to unalive y'all? Inquiring minds want to know. Is this being done on purpose? My hair in my face. Sorry, that's a piece of hair in my eyelash.
Big news right now, following the Oval Office meeting between Donald Trump, jdvance, and President Zelensky, a top Norwegian shipping company is no longer going to be refueling American ships.
The London Bridge is falling. Listen.
The company held back bunkers. They said
more bad stuff happening to America.
The show ever presented live on TV by the current American president and his vice president. Huge credit to the president of Ukraine restraining himself and for keeping calm, even though United States put on a backstabbing TV show. It made us sick, short and sweet. As a result,
we all watched that. We saw it with our own eyes.
American forces in Norway and their ships calling Norwegian ports. No fuel to Americans. We encourage all Norwegians and Europeans to follow our example, Slava Ukraini. So essentially, this shipping giant is
no fuels to America. Next, Canada's going to cut off our power. Red states. Our electrical bill has gone up because of Donald Trump. The red states. I live in a red state, and I'm highly upset about it. Why should the American people be punished? But remember, Elon Musk said y'all going to have to suffer a little while. While he get rich and rich off our tax dollars. Doge is not beneficial to the American people. They are helping Elon take your tax dollars. Donnie boy. Says the man who does not pay taxes and have filed bankruptcy 6 times.
Nobody knows this stuff better than me.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do and income than I do.
Nobody knows more about construction than I do.
Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do.
And he filed bankruptcy 6
Nobody knows much more
times.
about technology.
Doesn't pay
This
taxes.
type of technology, certainly, than I do.
Nobody knows more about technology than me.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump. I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B.
Says the man that has
Nobody knows it
failed
better than me.
several
I know more
businesses.
about ISIS than the generals do, believe me. I
Says the
understand
man
the
that
tech
lost
comprehend
all
very
his
well.
father's money.
Okay. Better than, I think, almost anybody.
And by the way, who knew the other side of the picture better than me? I knew it.
Nobody knows more about environmental impact statements than me.
I understand the power of Facebook, maybe better than almost anybody. I know more about renewables than any human being on Earth.
Nobody knows more about polls than me.
I know more about courts than any human being on Earth. I know more about steelworkers than anybody that's ever run for office.
I know more about golf than Obama knows.
Nobody knows more about banks than I do. Nobody knows more about trade than me.
Well, obviously, he doesn't know about nuclear weapons. I know more about nuclear weapons than he'll ever know.
I understand the tax laws better than almost anyone.
Who knows more about lawsuits than I do? I'm the king.
I know more about offense and defense than they will ever understand. Nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation.
I understand money better than anybody.
I understand the system better than anybody. Nobody knows more about debt than I do.
Nobody knows this stuff better than me.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do and income than I do.
Nobody knows more about construction than I do.
Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do.
I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do.
Nobody knows more about technology than me.
Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure.
Those clown devil stops. The circus keep going on and on and on and on and on. I told y'all, next he need to throw that ass in a circle. Because if it's going to keep going around and around on the merry-go-round at the circus, this clown, Donald Trump, throw that ass in the circus. Throw that ass in the circus. We're tired. We're tired of the circus. I'm going to let y'all listen to this fool again. He knows nothing about what he's talking about. He knows how to file bankruptcy, yes, because he filed it 6 times. And he told y'all he was a billionaire back then. No, I don't believe he's a billionaire now. With that fake coin.
Nobody knows this stuff better than me.
Nobody knows more about taxes than I do and income than I do.
Nobody knows more about construction than I do.
Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do.
I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do.
Nobody knows more about technology than me.
Nobody's in the history of this
If
country.
he knows so much about technology, why does he doesn't know how to read the teleprompter? If you know so much about technology, how to fix it where your dumb self can read it? The problem is, and it has been said, that he can't read. And I believe it. Because he asked the guy to read the note that he brought with him in the Oval Office just this week past. Who was that? What president was that? Anyway, he asked him to read it to him. Why? Donnie can't read, apparently. It's been said by people that worked on his campaigns that he can't read. His grades in school were horrible. I showed y'all that. His professor in school said he was dumb. He was the dumbest student he has ever had in his classrooms. Oh, I love this right here.
The part when President Zelensky told jdvance
He's insulting JD in his face.
the volume
He
of your
insulted
voice,
JD and I loved
not
it.
the logic in your argument. I'm gonna start using that on everybody. That's some deep shit right there, but it sounds good too. You're increasing the volume in your voice, but not the logic in your argument.
Zelensky is the type of man, he's very intelligent. He doesn't raise his voice. He will read you down and you will miss it. He read JD down in his face at the Oval Office, but because he's the one that's not raising his voice, they didn't catch it. And when Donald Trump was saying something, he did like this. He was like, nigga, please. That was so pretty, so cute. Donnie and Melania Trump. So special. I just love that. Yeah, the football team fell too. Yeah, that's what Donnie wants. Donnie wants World WW3. He wants that. Only an evil man would want that to happen. Hold on.
Karma's a bitch, right? Hey, everybody. In the response of the Oval Office between Zelensky and Trump yesterday, the Norway company that refuels all the American ships and the submarines in the port just issued a statement where they will not be refueling any American vessels as of now, which means that every ship that was there to fuel is not leaving there unless it's getting towed, which is a serious problem. But when you think about it, why is this happening? Well, because there's a child in the big white kindergarten that wanted to play King of the Hill. And he wants to win so bad that he fucked everybody over. Now everybody's turning their back on them.
Hit the like button, please.
And it sucks because it's a major domino effect, which will continue to ripple on March 4th when he announces his tariffs on Canada. And Canada will retaliate also, and Mexico will retaliate also, and Europe is starting to turn their back also and pushing more money towards Ukraine, which means that slowly everybody has decided to rip the Band-Aid off their arm. And they all know that it's going to hurt, but nobody cares. Now, the funny part is that Trumpy can yell, scream, hit on the floor, tap his feet, all he fucking wants. It's a privately owned company. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And guess what? They don't give a flying fuck about Donald Trump. Talk to you later, guys.
He is making things get worse and worse and worse, and those ships will not get filled because apparently we need them just as much as they needed us. But now Zelensky don't need us at all because the Europeans have poured more into him. Canada have given billions just yesterday. They have the whole weekend. Other countries have poured into him. Billionaires that have so much money spent into him. JP Morgan, etc. They have poured into Zelensky. Trump. That says you're not as bad as you think you are. And America is looking really bad right now because NATO is helping. And we're not a part of them anymore, apparently, because you just effed up the preacher's money. We're in trouble.
I'm the commander-in-chief and I control the military. I'm a very stable genius.
Hold on.
I'm the commander-in-chief and I control the military. I'm a very stable genius.
Let MAGA tell it he is a genius. Anything Donald Trump says, he said he's a genius, they're going to run with it. And they'll run around saying Donald Trump is a genius. Well, he's a complete clown in a circle that throw that ass in a circle for Elon Musk and Putin. Throw that ass in a circle. That's Donnie boy. He's a clown in that White House. And it's such an embarrassment to the American people. But MAGA would never see it, y'all. They like to be a fool for somebody. They are the biggest fools in the world that's drinking that Kool-Aid that Jim Jones gave out. Yeah. Yeah. Bad body built. It's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene. These two, look at it. They got boobs. Look at Donald Trump and Elon. Bad body built. That's just not Marjorie Taylor Greene, y'all. It apparently is the entire Republican Party. The entire cabinet. Bad body built. I thought these two opposed hormone treatments, but apparently they don't. They got boobies bigger than mine. Elon, all that surgery and now look at you. But this is the thing, when you get surgery, other stuff will start happening to you. Something is going to be affected. So now Elon has boobs just as big as mine, and Donnie has the biggest boobs in everybody, looking like an old grandma. Look at Donnie. He looks like somebody's old grandmother. Bad body built. Bleach blonde, bad body built. God bless America. Bad body built Donnie.
Now, Robin, don't get me started on jdvance. I know more about jdvance, and I want to know about jdvance.
Thank you for hitting that like button. Come on, give me some more likes. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on, I'll go back to this. Hold on. David Clausman said, thank you, King David. David says, please watch Steve Hunson's mega cult deprogramming videos. I definitely will. Thank you. Tia, Victorious One, y'all send me a message about this. Say, please watch. Vera, if you're here, send me a message. Moderator, send me a message, please. Please watch Steve Hunson's mega cult deprogramming videos. If we leave them, no path back to the light side. This would never end. Thanks for your work. Thank you, King. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That touches my heart. It means a lot to me when y'all can see what my purpose is. It really means a lot to me. But to make it entertaining, I have to joke around. You know, I can't let y'all sit here and get sleepy on me. Because I'm going to tell you, after I listen to Donnie Bar so much, I get sick to my stomach. So I don't want to bore y'all without having a sense of humor with this, okay? I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much, okay? Thank you. So I'm going to let y'all hear this right quick, okay? I'm going to start it over. I'm going to have to pin my hair back, wear my hair behind my ears. I can't stand hair on my face. It's really bothering me. I apologize for it, y'all. Hold on.
Now, Robin, don't get me started on jdvance. I know more about jdvance, and I want to know about jdvance. Not only did I read Hillbilly Elegy, and I got like 5 copies because people gave it to me, because a friend of mine is actually J.D. Vance's cousin. That's right. So I know a lot about J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance was raised by his grandparents, who he was quoted as saying they were blue dog Democrats. And his wife was a registered Democrat until 2012, although her voting record is Democrat up until 2022, which is interesting.